Welcome back to the Last Row Podcast. This is episode 96 of the Last Row Podcast. Happy New Year, everybody, and Mr. Badway, how you doing?
Happy New Year, 96. That's like the best year of my life, George. You know, 1996 is the best year of my life.
The summer of 96.
It's been all downhill from there, man.
A young Badway, impressionable, listen to Vertical Horizon.
That's right, man.
Oh, man. If you're looking for our website, thelastrowpodcast.com, follow us on Twitter at thelastrowpod, facebook.com/thelastrowpod. You can now leave a 5-star review on Spotify. So now I'm going to be shilling for the 5-star reviews here for Spotify. So if you're subscribed, please leave us a 5-star review.
Listen, I don't mean to get on the people this early into the podcast, but leave a 5-star. Don't be lazy. Don't be crazy. Don't be lazy.
Thank you in advance. Same with Apple Podcasts. If you are enjoying the show, you're new to the show, and you haven't left us a 5-star review, please consider doing that. It definitely helps us out. Same with Podchaser. Thanks to everyone that's left one so far. By the way, this is a year in review. I don't know if that'll be the title of the episode, but this is our special 2021 retrospective. We've officially been back for like a year right now.
It's been crazy.
Can you believe that?
2 episodes a month for an entire year. If you guys have been with us from the start in 2015, you know that that's very rare for us to do. Dropping episodes months later at a time, years later at a time, hiatuses out the anuses. It's like, it's been nuts. But
I'm proud of us. I got to be honest with you. I'm proud of us. And
yeah, I'm not. Let us go.
Well, let's take this moment to thank everybody that's been with us for the past year. Thanks to everyone that wrote in and asked us to come back over the years that we were out. But it's been a crazy year, or a crazy couple of years for everybody. And I think looking at the podcast and what we've done for the past year is a fun little exercise here. We've got something cooked up for you here today, a little bit of a retrospective, like we said, and a little bit of an award show for the past year. Nothing too crazy, and Bowie will tell you a little bit about that in a second. But Bowie, I just want to ask you, over the past year, 2021 of your podcasting career, what is something that you can say you're most thankful for the past year of what we've done in the spirit of new year, new beginnings?
Well, I think you want me to say our amazing listeners and audience. That's what you would want me to say. But I'm going to say I'm thankful for you.
Oh, man. You're too kind.
My lovely podcast host. Without you, I would not be doing this right now.
Well,
so thank you for pushing us into the 2021 year that was.
No, man.
Where we brought the podcast back from obscurity, and well, it's still relatively obscure, but
that's for sure.
Back from the dead, I should say.
No, and I, the same goes for you. I couldn't think of another person that I'd rather be doing this with. And, we've been talking as friends for 20 years now, or whatever it's been. I think this is just the highlight of the 2 weeks that we do. And I always have a fun time doing this during the week, even though we always do it last minute and at 3 a.m. So yes. it's still fun.
Doesn't mean we don't love it any less.
And I think the other thing I would say that I'm thankful for is, I will say, our amazing listeners and audience. I know you think that too, but we have so many new people that are listening to the show now over the past year, now that we've been back. Thank you to everybody that's taken the time to hit the subscribe button, left us a review, wrote to us the time that we were out and said, hey guys, where are you? Are you okay? Come back. It's been an awesome outpouring of support from the listeners, and everyone has been so awesome. So we really appreciate you spending an hour plus with us every 2 weeks. It's really amazing to think that anyone cares to listen to us babble about movies and whatnot. The other thing I'm thankful for is just being able to release every 2 weeks. We've done that, and I feel proud of the fact that we've done that. So I will move on to the next thing. So let me ask you this last question before we jump into the awards here. What's your favorite episode that we did this past year? If you had to pick, one or two, what are your favorites?
Oh, man. Well, the first one that comes to mind was actually our return episode, Batman Forever, from back in January. I don't know. It's just the way we kind of explored the whole Bruce Wayne of it all, compared the different Bruce Waynes, the different Alfreds, old ass Alfred versus British Alfred versus, the newer style. I kind of like that. And also, I know what you did last summer. We don't do many horror movies, and I feel like we did that one pretty much did it justice, and I think it should pave the way for future horror movies.
Yeah, and that was your suggestion. We haven't done horror movies, as you mentioned, and that was one of the more fun ones that I think we've done over the past couple of years here, and I had a blast with that one too. So I think underrated episode if you're new to this show and you haven't listened to any of our episodes. It's sort of an obscure movie unless you've grown. I mean, it got some acclaim, but Basic Instinct, that was one of my favorite ones that we've done.
Oh yeah, very fun.
Just the ridiculous nature of Michael Douglas and how he thinks that he gave Sharon Stone the night of her life, and she just shuts him down. I mean, that's like one of my favorite podcast moments. And just, I don't know, I had a fun time with that. It was one of those movies that we watched. I forgot how good it was, and it had no business being on this show, but we just decided to do it, and I think it was just a lot of fun. So that was one of my favorite ones too.
It was the F of the century for sure for him.
And for us.
That episode goes to show. I mean, this whole episode is pretty much a pat on our back. So we got to do this. It goes to show that we can do a hell of a steamy, sexy ass thriller.
Yeah,
and we need to do more of those. I feel.
Yeah,
we tend to do a lot of action movies, a lot of nostalgic '90s and '80s family movies, but we need to dip our toe a little bit more into the sexy thriller.
Wild Things, Cruel Intentions.
Yeah. Yes,
so
yes,
sure. At the end of the episode, I'm going to ask you, what are you hoping for in 2022? So think about that as we go through this. But the listeners by now are bored, so they've either hit shut off or whatever. Nobody cares about 2021. But we're going to take a second and recognize our work. Like you said, it's a pat on our back.
Mm-hmm.
We did a lot of awesome movies this year. We've had a lot of awesome things. Tell everybody what we're about to embark on here.
Well, I'm glad you said that because, for everyone who shut this off by now, that's fine. They're gone. It's gone. This is for us and for the hardcore fans that have been with us throughout and who really latched on lately, maybe to, whet their appetite to go back into our library and listen to what we've been doing for the past year. It's kind of a showcase of the movies that we did in the past year and kind of highlighting some of our favorite moments, favorite characters in categories, kind of MTV Movie Awards style, with a little, not just best movie, best actor, best actress, but also, getting a little more ridiculous as we do it, episode to episode.
We introduced the awards for a lot of the shows or the movies that we've been doing this year, or since we've been back. I think that we've sort of incorporated that into the show. So this being part of our yearly cycle here, maybe this is a fun thing. And if people like it, definitely write in the last row podcast at gmail.com, tweet or Facebook us. Let us know if you guys enjoy what we're about to do here or how it goes. And we'll see if we can up the ante next year a little bit more. So
without any further ado, how do we get this thing started, Drew?
So we're just going to call it the last row movie awards, for lack of a better word. Maybe we'll call it the Ball and Ass Fun Times Award, the real BAFTAs.
The real BAFTAs.
This is the real BAFTAs, the Ball and Ass Fun Times Awards. So there's a bunch of categories that we have here, and like Badway said, there's 12 awards that we're going to go through. We nominated these, so we created the nominees, and in a lot of cases, this was really difficult for us. So we've done, I think, 24 or 25 movies this past year, not counting some of the bonus episodes or something like that. So it was really hard to cut down some of the different awards or different nominees in each of the categories. So some we have some honorable mentions, but we'll go through these. It's 12 awards, and we'll tell you what the award is, who the nominees are, and we're going to try to come to a consensus winner throughout these, sort of like the villain scale in a way, but less of the philosophical numeric debate. We're just going to go based on gut feel here, and we'll see if we can have somebody win within the categories. So without further ado, let's just start with the first one, man. Let's start with this first one. Do you want to introduce it? Do you want me to? You want to do it?
I'll go for it. Yeah. So the first category is the Letterboxd "Is It Good? But Did You Like It?" award for best movie.
Too low.
Parentheses too low.
It's too low. Way too low.
Yeah. So really, it's basically best movie. Not so much best movie overall, but like maybe favorite movie, I would say.
Is it good? Did you like it?
Is it good? And did you like it? And those are two different things, and they're not mutually exclusive sometimes. So, what are our nominees, Drew?
So we have a bunch here. We couldn't whittle it down to 3. I'll read them all out, and then we'll give arguments for each of these. So the first one is a personal favorite of both of ours, Rockstar. The second one is Out for Justice. The third is Batman Forever. And by the way, these are only movies that we've done in 2021, so we're not going through the full back catalog. So Rockstar, Out for Justice, Batman Forever, Commando, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I'm not going to count it, but an honorable mention would have been True Lies or The Mummy. they're both really good movies, and in a real award show, they'd probably be good movies, but I don't know that we can count them here.
They're standard. They're standard too good. They're not, they're not letterbox good.
Yeah. So let's go through each of these. So you tell me the ones that you think should win and why, and then we can maybe whittle down and figure out what the real winner is. Which one would you pick of this list, or which?
Well, I think the winner is Rockstar. I think it's obvious.
Why would you say that?
Because it is just the best. I don't know, what would you call it? It's the best movie about rock and roll, I think, ever. Is that ridiculous to say?
No, I mean, I don't think that
probably is.
That's a Drew hot take. Yeah. Zack Snyder there. You're pulling the bad way cut on me here.
Yeah.
No, it's a great movie. I mean, look, it definitely belongs on this list. I think that you could argue that Commando is the action movie that started all action movies, and you could argue that it might be a better movie per se, but I can see why you would pick Rockstar. What about, would you give any credit to Out for Justice or Batman Forever?
Yeah, I also think Batman Forever is a nostalgic pick just because I loved it so much in 1996. So, I mean, that'll always hold a place in my heart. And no matter what anyone says about that movie or has anything negative to say about it, I will always tell them to shut their faces. It's great. You don't know what you're talking about. And, I mean, as far as the movies we had to choose from, if we're deleting the actual good movies, then I think that I Know What You Did Last Summer was well made and can stand up here against Commando in any of them.
I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue with Rockstar. I kind of want to make that the winner, to be honest.
What's the movie where they're like on the tour bus and it's the young kid who's the writer?
It's the Cameron Crowe movie.
The Cameron Crowe movie, yeah. So we forget. See, it's not memorable. People would say, yeah, that's the best Rockstar movie of all time, but no, screw you. It's Rockstar.
It's 3 a.m. and I definitely don't. I know that movie. I've seen it. Billy Crudup is in it. I just can't think right now.
It's like it's not high fidelity, but it's kind of high fidelity.
High Fidelity is the movie with your favorite John Cusack when he's working at the vinyl store. Almost Famous. That's it.
Almost, yeah. High Fidelity. John Cusack sucks, so definitely not that movie. So
are we giving it to Rockstar? Are we giving it the awards? Are we giving it to Rockstar?
I'm giving it. You're gonna have to fight me for it if you want to take it off.
So for all these categories, I'm expecting everyone will write into us. We're going to list out who the nominees are. We'll put it on the website. And if you disagree with Rockstar being on this list, which everyone's going to disagree,
sure,
let us know. But I think we got to give it to Rockstar because this is my mic stand.
If we polled it, it's probably going to be Commando. But no, it's
I think
Rockstar.
Out for Justice is a close 1B to me because it's such a iconic movie, and it's not a good movie, but I did like it.
Yeah.
It's not good, but I did like it. So.
Yeah, Letterboxd 4 stars.
I don't know if we should have read. I don't know if we should have. It's no Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, right?
Yeah, right.
I don't know if we should have read all the awards first, but maybe we'll just keep people on their toes.
No, let's keep them on their toes.
Just to recap, the Letterboxd Is It Good, But Did You Like It? Best Movie Award Too Low is Rockstar. The winner is Rockstar. Give it to Rockstar.
Way too many titles in that.
it's like 32 titles. But would you have it any other way on the Last Row podcast here? You wouldn't.
We're all about colons and parentheses. So, all right, award number 2, the Leave It in the Past award. Too high. Bad nostalgia for the movie that we went into excited to watch based on our 90s nostalgia, and came out thinking that wasn't that good, was it? So,
wasn't very good. To quote Bad Way, wasn't very good, was it?
Wasn't very good, was it? So what are our nominees on this one?
So there's only 3 in this category because it seems like we watched a little bit more than that were good than maybe not too high, but I'll give you the 3. So the first one's Batman and Robin. The second one is Angels in the Outfield. And the third is Three Ninjas. All movies that I think I still like them, but I think when we watch them, all 3 of these, I mean, Batman and Robin is just not good at all.
No, but it's got redeeming qualities with Arnold
Schwarzenegger. Right? Yeah. He saves the movie. Really, he does. And it gave us the Clooney doesn't give a crap meme that we have on the show now.
So I think me personally, I would give the winner to Angels in the Outfield because I believe in our podcast episode, I did say, I don't think there's any reason for me to ever watch this movie ever again. So if I said that, then I feel like it would be foolish not to vote for it for Leave in the Past award.
My vote for this one, and this is where maybe we're gonna have a debate, is Three Ninjas. Because Arnold Schwarzenegger saves Batman and Robin, and I might watch clips of it.
Yeah.
I thought that I was gonna go into Three Ninjas thinking that it was like much better than it was. It still entertained me, but I don't know. I also agree with you on Angels in the Outfield. It's just Angels in the Outfield is a better movie.
You might be right, considering like Three Ninjas in the back of my mind was friggin' awesome. And then when we watch it as 30-plus-year-olds, it's like, what is this? What is this?
And Angels in the Outfield had the Bad Father Barometer. I mean, it basically created the Bad Father Barometer from that, essentially. And the Three Ninjas movie, like it had the X-Lax scene, but you're right. I went in remembering I saw that like 100 times as a kid, and I thought it was the best movie ever. And going in, I'm like, man, this is not very good. And we had like the dollar store Terry Silver Snyder as the bad guy. It just was kind of not that great.
It's definitely quintessential Leave in the Past, I suppose, just because if like all copies of that movie, digital and otherwise, just cease to exist from the earth after like 1999, then we may have thought of that as like, you know, our generation's Godfather. But since we're allowed to go back and watch it again, oh wait, no, it wasn't that good.
There's something hilarious about thinking the Three Ninjas is the Godfather. 1992's Godfather.
Yeah.
Are we going with Three Ninjas? Is that what we're voting for?
Yeah, I'll agree with you. Yeah,
all right. If you guys disagree, let us know. Which one would you leave in the past? The Bad Nostalgia Award. Leave it in the past too high. Bad. That's another really long name. We'll have to I think we need to like memorialize these awards now that we have them. So depending on who the winner is, maybe for 2022's awards, we can change the name of it. So.
And full disclosure to the audience, like we just came up with this idea like a couple hours ago. So please bear with us. You know, you're already here.
It's already
here. It's only going to get better.
Yeah.
So, but it's better than no episode. Is it better than no episode?
We'll see about that. We'll see about that. TBD.
Right. The number 3, the Nicolas Cage Acting Clinic Award, Drew.
Which we debated calling it the Thomas Ian Griffith Acting Award, but we're Terry Silver fanboys.
Yeah.
So,
but we wanted to give the caveat of kind of best acting performance that the movie has no business having a great acting performance in it. Right?
Yeah. Oh,
basically,
absolutely.
long story long. That's what that is.
And the person acted so hard that they redeemed the movie themselves, and they're the only redeeming quality of the movie per se.
Like in our first nominee, to give gravitas to the movie Street Fighter is just out of this world, unnecessary, but we're thankful for it.
Yes.
So why don't you run through our nominees for
the nominees are, number 1, Raul Julia, who was dying of stomach cancer or some type of painful cancer, only was in the movie because his kid liked Street Fighter. The last thing this man did before he died was act in this awful, god-awful movie, but he knocked it out of the park to the point where, like, I don't even want to tell you the other nominees. We will, but we need to call this the Raul Julia Memorial Acting Clinic Award.
Yep.
So, second one, Sharon Stone, Catherine Trammell, who just killed it in Basic Instinct. That wasn't a bad movie. I don't think it was a bad movie, but she just was awesome.
It was a trashy movie.
It wasn't great. Yeah, it was sort of like Skin and Max style movie, but sexy, steamy thriller. And then the third, Daniel Stern, who was just out of his mind, goofy and physical acting in Bushwhacked.
He literally threw himself into that role.
Yes,
so,
exactly. He fought a bear. But we got to go with Raul Julia here, right? I mean,
the category was created for Raul Julia. I mean, this is the one where we thought of it right away. We're like, this man is too good for this movie. Thank you for being in this movie to counterbalance Jean-Claude Van Damme.
There's so many other actors we could have nominated in here, but we tried to keep it to 3. But this is now going to be known, I think, 2022 onwards, now that you're hearing this, as the Raul Julia Acting Clinic Award.
Yes.
So it's good. All right. Tell the next one.
Award number 4, the Wayne Campbell. I know it's a small part, but can we get somebody better award? The Mail It In Award, Drew.
This is so essentially this is someone who just DGAF during their time. They're cashing the paycheck in, right?
Yeah. So we're opening this category up not just to bit parts like Charlton Heston was switched in for the lame actor in Wayne's World 2. We're talking all actors are no actor is off limits in all of our movies here over the past year. These people just did not give a fluh about their performance in this movie. So what do we got?
So first one, number 1, the meme of Last Row Podcast now, George Clooney, aka Batman, Bruce Wayne, Batman and Robin, did not care at all. He
talk about big paycheck to just sit there and not just he was checked out from day one.
I mean, this is a category I want to talk a little bit about each of these guys. So let me run through, and then we have to come back and talk about some of these guys. Okay. This is going to be a tough one because James Caan, Coach Sam Winters from the program, that was a rough one. Oh, John Lithgow, John Lithgow, Eric Quaylen. You know, with a name like that, can you just get somebody better? I mean, it's a great villain's name. And then the costume designer for Blanca from Street Fighter is our fourth nominee. It's just like
no effort.
Give me your thoughts on Clooney again. So you were going into it a little bit.
Yeah.
What made him mail it in so hard?
I feel like he signed on to do the movie, then read the script. I feel like that's probably what happened, right?
Yes.
And then once he saw it, he was like, "Oh shit." All right.
And he still distances himself for it, and he makes fun of he killed Batman, but he does it in such a still doesn't give a crap about it role.
No, he's as bad as the script was. He's still part of the problem, even though he probably thinks he's not.
Arnold was great in that movie.
He was definitely just sitting there in his you know the movie chair with the back with the
has your name
back,
on it.
You know, has your name on it. I can just picture him just in his bat suit, just sitting on that chair, feet up, going, "What? I gotta. Okay,
Batman.
All right, I guess I'll be Batman.
I guess I'm Batman now."
Yeah.
At least Val Kilmer played it like dark and brooding. George Clooney was just I'm George Clooney in a bat suit.
If someone were to act in a movie while eating an apple cockily for the entire duration of the filming, that's the equivalent of the George Clooney performance of him just eating an apple while acting.
The next one is one that I just have to say, right? The opposite of acting so cockily and cocky. James Caan just looked like he didn't want to be there. He looked like he just didn't care.
He looked miserable. I wonder if he was having family issues at the time, right? Was Scott Conn being a little dick?
He just seemed exhausted.
Did he have a 12-year-old Scott Conn just running around being an asshole and he was thinking about him or something? I don't know what's going on here.
What I don't know is it's either the most lazy performance or the most genius performance because he plays an old coach that just doesn't care anymore. And I don't know.
He did care. He did kind of care.
But he was just
his
pathetic.
Character was supposed to care, Drew. It was supposed to care.
I almost want to give it to him because it's literally can't we get someone better? He's a good actor. He's just awful in the role. Yeah. So what about John Lithgow? So you have strong thoughts on Eric Quaylen.
Yeah. So I feel like it was just a miscast. So maybe he doesn't deserve the award because he did put some effort into it.
He tried.
But I feel like his kind of holier than thou voice, which is kind of him, he's typecast into that kind of role. I don't know. I didn't think it fit. He wasn't threatening to me as a villain of an action movie, and I just think we could have gotten somebody better.
Yeah, he didn't mail it in, but we could have got someone better.
Well, we definitely could have gotten someone better.
We definitely could have. And then what about the Blanca costume designer? It's more of a joke, I guess, than real,
it's almost as if they had nothing and they didn't even know who Blanca was. Then someone showed them the video game. It was "Oh, does anybody have a green marker? Can we color this? Can we color his body quick?"
I mean, that's some of the worst makeup I've ever seen, and I don't think they did a bad job. I just think they didn't really know what they were going for.
If we're talking about the same costume designer, right? How perfect did M. Bison look in this movie?
He was amazing.
He was amazing.
I wish I had those clothes right now. I would wear that. Give me that leather suit and the skull hat.
I think the movie would be 17% less embarrassing if Blanca was just written out of the script of that movie. Honestly,
wasn't that the picture of our thing? Or no, it was Guile flexing.
Yeah, it would be less of a laughingstock to the culture if Blanca wasn't in that movie looking the way he looks.
Who do you want? Who do you voting for in this?
It's so hard, but I got to go with the biggest name, and I got to go with Clooney.
Yeah, I think so too.
Truly, it's so obvious on the screen that he would rather be anywhere else, but he still wants the money, Drew. So he's going to be there. He's going to do it.
He collected the paycheck. Yeah, he's probably still making royalties, and he probably made a crap ton of money on the action figures and the molds and all of whatever, right? Yeah, he's maybe a laughingstock of it, but that movie's so bad that people look at it as a meme now, and Arnold Schwarzenegger saves that movie. So, I could go back and look at it, but I agree. This should be the George Clooney Can't We Get Someone Better award moving forward. So now the best category. Tell everybody about this one.
The Terry Silver Villain of the Year award, Drew.
Rightfully named, right?
Yeah, self-explanatory. Best villain of our 24-episode run of 2021. Give us the nominees, Drew.
So you're going to see a couple familiar names here just because of how good they were in the movies. First one, Raul Julia as M. Bison from Street Fighter. Amazing. Sharon Stone, Catherine Trammell from Basic Instinct.
Clearly.
We got Emotep, not the band, the the evil Egyptian priest named Imhotep, the mummy, also played by Arnold Vosloo. Yeah,
all
the plagues. He's got a lot of powers there. Yeah. And then we would be remiss if we didn't name the Superstorm from The Day After Tomorrow, because it literally broke the villain scale.
Yeah, it was a huge dick. The whole movie was huge pain in the ass.
It was the straw that broke the villain scale's back, so to speak. So I don't know. Give me an argument for who you want here, because I have a couple thoughts.
I think I would almost rule out the Superstorm just because it was defeated by a closed library door.
I agree with that.
So I feel like to go out that weekly, you can't win best villain, right?
They burnt library books and it defeated it. It's weakness in that. The villain scale was irrelevant because of it.
So what do you go by here? Because M. Bison was so, like, he was mad, you know?
Yeah.
He was mad with power. But Catherine Trammell was just an evil, brutal killer.
Insane.
Yeah. So what do you go by? Do you go by mad or do you go by evil? Was M. Bison evil? Possibly.
Well, I guess you could. I guess you could argue he was
there's
evil.
genocide involved.
Genocide.
There was genocide involved.
He murdered people. He didn't care. I mean, it was Tuesday to him, so
he thought he was right, though. He thought he was right.
Well, that's true. He did think he was right. I mean,
I don't know if Catherine Trammell thought she was right. She was doing wrong. She knew she was doing wrong.
Look, there's definitely an objective way to do this, but we're not going to be objective. We're going to be emotional on this one. The objective way is to literally read the villain score on the villain scale, but let's not be that objective. We need to. This is an award show, right? It's okay to be to be emotional on this. Yeah. But no, you're right. Like, the difference between M. Bison and Catherine Trammell is M. Bison commits genocide, but Trammell commits murder and writes about it in a book and tries to get caught. Like, she wants to get caught.
Well, so you know about the patricide and the matricide, and the regicide and the matricide. Is there a side for killing your sexual partner? Isn't there a side for that?
There's probably a side for it.
What's the side for killing your wife or husband?
Matricide?
Is it matricide?
That's mother, right? No,
that's your mother, though. Yeah,
broken side.
Broken side.
Broken side. It's a deep cut there. Yeah. No, I don't know what it is, but I kind of want to give it but then Emotep's got the plagues. So when you think about the effectiveness,
I don't know.
Catherine Trammell's the only one that didn't get caught and defeated.
I mean, go back and listen to our Mummy episode. Some of those plays were weak. It was like it was like batting 50-50, you know. Yeah.
And honestly, so I mean, obviously there's a sequel to The Mummy. We didn't watch it, The Mummy Returns, but Catherine Trammell's the only one that doesn't get defeated when you think about it. So she I kind of want to vote for her, even though I think Bison is more like showy and flashy. I kind of want to give it to Trammell.
I'm going to give it to Trammell too.
You are? Okay.
Just such a powerful performance. Yeah.
I think we agree on that one. This is going to be a controversial one. I need people write in. Again, thelastropodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you think. This is a tricky one.
Don't hate on it. You know, you want to hate on it, go watch Basic Instinct and tell us for yourself. Because if you watch that movie, you can't say that she's not an evil, you know,
evil person like crazy.
Son of a gun, right? Number 6, Drew. Award number 6, the Peter McAllister Worst Father of the Year Award. I mean, really, it's hard to single out Mr. Peter McAllister when really it's the McAllisters themselves. But we here like to point out our bad father barometer and all these movies with their bad fathers. So yeah, worst father of the year. What do we got, Drew?
So we got Roger's dad from Angels in the Outfield. It's going to be hard to beat him.
We didn't even learn his name. All we know is he's Diad with a Y.
Roger's
That's
Diad.
all we know. Diad.
Anyone that's going to drive a motorcycle away, like, see you later, kid, and
blowing dust in your son's face as you drive away.
It's pretty bad. I mean, this might be the Roger's Dad Award going forward in 2022.
The Roger's Dad.
Then you got Sean Dunn, played by Fred Ward from Summer Catch, who is Freddie Prinze Jr.'s father. Then
Drunken
you got
loser.
with a successful law in business.
With a successful law in business, actually a winner in life.
Then you've got Rand Parrish, played by Bruce Davison from Summer Catch. What a double hitter here, man.
What a name. Rand Parrish, what a rich son of a bitch. Rand Parrish.
From Summer Catch. 2 dads from Summer Catch. That's unprecedented here. And then you got
I won't let my daughter date that scumbag, Rand Parrish.
Who's a successful pitcher. Oh, I bet he lets her date her once he's a pitcher in the majors. There you go. How about that?
I bet he lets her date her after he looks at Sean Dunn's books and realizes the profits that he's turning. He has no idea.
He's gonna invest. And then you got the last one is Sam Douglas, the FBI agent dad from Three Ninjas, who is underratedly terrible.
Allows the kids to
lousy.
just associate with this dangerous grandfather.
This guy sucks. He's pretty bad. So this is a tough category. You go first. Who are you picking? It's hard to go for Roger's dad, or not to go for him. But
I've got two in mind. I've got Roger's dad.
Yeah,
just because he is the stereotypical shows up once a year, if that, and automatically could not wait to get the hell out of there.
Absolutely.
Can't do this, son. I promise we'll do it next time. I promise we'll be together next time. Can't do it right now. Too busy. Works really hard right now. He's got no job.
Legit leaves his kid in an orphanage when he's there. Like he can be his dad.
Smoking cigarettes in the kid's face, blowing smoke. And then I'm also looking at Rand Parrish, who is a classist son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Who would not dare let his daughter look at scum of the earth Ryan Dunn, who is, part over in a very successful business.
I have thoughts on this. So here's two things, right?
And he probably shouts racial slurs.
He probably does.
Probably does. Haven't seen it, but I guarantee you he does.
Oh, he definitely is. So let me give you my argument against Rand Parrish here for a second. He thinks he's doing the right thing. He thinks he's keeping her, like he's going to send her to whatever school. He thinks he's doing the right thing. He's wrong, right? 100% wrong.
So did Bison. Bison thought he was right too.
Agreed. So did he. But Roger's dad is so bad, he picks the worst team in all of baseball and says, I'll be with you when the worst team, who there's no possible way that in anybody's mind that these people could ever win the pennant.
Yeah.
I'll be back. I'll be your dad when the worst team of all time wins. That's really, really, really scummy.
Yeah.
There's no hope. There's no hope. Whereas Rand Parrish he's still a father. Like he's there.
Yeah.
He's bad.
He is there.
But what's worse? Because, maybe being there and being awful is worse than having no dad at all. Because if little Roger finds a Danny Glover, he becomes his dad. So it works out in the end.
It's Roger's dad. It's
got to be, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
I mean, think about like who is the worst team? Like, I don't know. Think about the worst possible team. Like, right? Like, I'll be your dad when the Jags win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to happen this year.
It boils down to Roger's dad is a scumbag, and Rand Parrish is an asshole prick.
Yes.
And I think scumbag goes over asshole prick.
You should be quoting Gino Felino here from Out for Justice, because there's a very choice quote that you could use. I might have to beep the whole thing out though.
Oh, man.
But I agree. Let's go with Roger's dad, Angels in the Outfield winner. It has to be.
Yeah, I agree, and this is why you're the best in the podcast biz, Drew, because segue of the year right there. It's a best movie line of the year.
What can I say, my friend?
Best line of the year, best line uttered from one of the movies that we did. We've got a couple nominees. How do you want to attack this, Drew?
All right, I'll read you the names, and then let's take turns reading the quotes. Let's take turns, because we got the quotes here for you guys. If I had any more prepared time, I would probably just stitch them in, but I'm lazy. And next year we'll do it. So, right?
It's New Year's. It's just
call me.
There's a lot going on.
I'm Roger's podcast host. That's what I am right now. So call me Roger's podcast next year. When the Jags win the Super Bowl, I'll paste in the actual quotes here. So, but yeah, so I'll read you the names. So we got, again, Raul Julia. He's just going to clean up here from Street Fighter. There's an awesome quote we'll read too.
A lot of noms.
There is John Matrix from Commando. The whole movie's quotable. There's Detective Gino Felino. That entire movie is quotable. Steven Seagal from Out for Justice. You got Kirk Cuddy from Rockstar, and then you got Steve Latimer from The Program. Which one do you want to read first? You pick.
Let's go from the top. Let's start with Raul Julia. So the quote is, "For you, the day Bison graced your village was the most important day of your life, but for me, it was Tuesday." Did I do it justice?
You did. And the best part about that is like that quote, and this is why this is like such a strong contender. This quote has infiltrated our daily lives.
Yeah,
like
we say it all the time.
All the listeners of that, right? When Catherine Trammell, when Nick was telling Catherine Trammell, like, it was the F of the century. For her, it was Tuesday. You know, it was Tuesday for her.
Yeah.
And like this quote has infiltrated our daily lives, and that is how, like, now you know me in bad way. Like, you guys know us from listening to us for years here, but we talk in these movie quotes.
Yeah.
So that's how good that one is.
The one that particularly sticks out to me was like, it was out of nowhere where you were talking about bad parents. I forget what the topic was. It had nothing to do with movies. Talking about bad parents, and Drew is a parent to a 5-year-old. And he was talking about, these parents, they probably don't even hug their own kids. But me, when I hug my daughter, it's just a Tuesday. Like,
I'm not a holier than thou dad here, but you know, I do hug my kid a lot, and she probably hates it. But you know, I try not to be Roger's dad. I try not to be Roger's dad, so I don't want to be Roger's dad. It's so many bad fathers on this podcast. I have to compensate. Let me go with. I'll go with John Matrix. So he's like, "Remember, Sully, when I promised to kill you last? That's right, Matrix. You did. You did. I lied." And then he drops him off the cliff. His mistake was not pulling a Raymond Calitri and shooting as he was falling.
Yeah, you got to have a side piece to shoot when you fall.
You got to have it.
Very good Arnold, by the way. Very good Arnold. All right, that's number 2. I'm going to go with Gino Felino. Gino Felino from Steven Seagal, Out for Justice. Anybody see Richie? Anybody know why Richie did Bobby Lupo?
The greatest Brooklyn accent of all time in any movie, right?
Brooklyn. Anybody see Richie?
I'm glad I didn't cut the clips in here because, you know, then we get to talk like Steven Seagal for
It's better. It's better
10 minutes.
It's better.
All right, I'll go with Kurt Cuddy because I don't think I could do Steve Latimer justice like you can. So I'm going to go with Dominic West, who plays Kurt Cuddy from Rockstar. Another one that infiltrated the daily lives. Another super quotable quote from us, but his quote was, it's going to set it up, right? So Mark Wahlberg's in the booth. He has no idea what's going to happen. And this comes out of nowhere. They're talking to each other and he can't hear anything they're saying. They turn on the mic and he just says, "So you want the gig then?"
You want the gig then?
So you want the gig then? Yes. And that we say that all the time. Another very quotable best line of the year. So I'll turn it over to you. I can't do Latimer.
That scene is just like goosebump city. And just when he spits that line, "You want the gig then?" You just feel so great for Mark Wahlberg. Best movie ever, Rockstar.
And that's too low. The winner of the Too Low Award.
Yeah. All right, the final quote comes from the program. Steve Latimer, when he learns the news that he made the starting team, "Starting defense, place at the table." Woo!
I couldn't do it. You had to do it. I'm still laughing at the fact that we have a award called the letterbox, is it good, but did you like it?
What are we even doing with our lives, Drew?
Oh my God. What aren't we doing with our lives? Yeah. I gotta go with Bison here, right? Don't you? I mean, I want to go Felino. I want to go Gino Felino because it's so classic, but it's a Tuesday, man.
Yeah, the Commando line, I mean, that's iconic in all of like tough guy action movies. Rockstar is kind of a personal choice for us. And the program isn't as widely known. God, I don't know. I'm torn because...
You decide. I'll let you pick whatever one you want because I like all of them.
The line that Raul Julia is with such gravitas.
Yeah. God, he was dying of cancer when he said it, too.
"The day Bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday." Yeah, it's got to be Bison.
It's got to be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be.
Close second, Matrix. And very close behind Matrix is Gino Felino.
Yeah,
for sure.
If I had to rank them, I would do the same exact thing. Because
it's like photo finish between 2 and 3.
What was the honorable mention that should have been on here? Whose hot dog is this?
Whose hot dog is this?
It's just the whole scene of Steven Seagal improving as a tough Brooklyn detective walking through, roughing up that bar when all those guys are standing there. That whole moment is just all of those quotes should just be in there. It's just so good. Whose hot dog is this? What is that?
Can we do another Steven Seagal movie soon?
We need to. We have to
ASAP.
I want to do Exit Wounds so bad. We'll save it for the 2022 section because I definitely want to do that. We need to. He's so terrible that he's great. All right, next one.
We got a couple left here. Number 8, the 50 Shades of Grey Worst On-Screen Chemistry Award.
Anastasia Steele.
Which pair in the movies we just did not work together on the screen.
There's some good ones here. So Pierce Brosnan and Linda Hamilton from Dante's Peak.
Just an awkward couple.
It's so awkward, right? Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying anything about either of their attractiveness. They're just weird together. It doesn't work.
Like the movie. I like them both as actors.
Yes.
But they did not scream love interest to me.
Then you got like the opposite end of the spectrum where it was like almost too sexual. Val Kilmer and Nicole Kidman. So Bruce Wayne and Chase Meridian and Batman Forever. Yeah. It's like... It was, and I guess worst on-screen chemistry doesn't mean that it's like no chemistry. It's like the worst chemistry. Yes. So then you got a dark horse here that I think could really steal the show. Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones from Batman Forever.
Yeah, just really big. You knew they hated each other off screen.
Yeah,
and on screen they were like the what do you call it? The odd couple.
It's so weird.
I don't feel in any world that Two-Face would work with a guy like that.
Yeah,
it's just I don't think so. I think he would have plugged him right then and there.
And then you got Bill Paxton playing Bill the Extreme Harding and Jamie Gertz, Dr. Melissa Reeves. So his fiance, not his wife, Helen Hunt, in Twister. Yeah. This is a tough one.
It was so obvious she was like the anti-Helen Hunt. And, once Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton were on the screen together, it was clear what was going to happen. Like
this is a tough one, man. I don't know. What are you feeling on this one?
I feel like I got to go. Oh, geez. I don't know. Kilmer and Kidman were so awkward together, weren't they?
Yeah, that's where my head is going right now.
Yeah. Like I wanted close second would be Pierce and Linda Hamilton.
Yeah.
Just because that Linda Hamilton's like tripping over herself, like her character wanting that man to be her children's stepfather, right?
Yes.
Like it just seems that way, but like it's just so awkward. It's just so awkward. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Maybe it's him. Maybe it's Pierce.
He's like, there's nothing about their attractiveness levels, right? It's not even like that. Like they're on screen, people see them as like maybe, attractive, like heartthrobs, especially Pierce Brosnan at that time. But I don't know. I think just Val Kilmer and Nicole Kidman was so over the top sexual. It was awkward to me, and I didn't like it.
And Val Kilmer's Bruce Wayne was so oblivious and kind of like anti-sexual and anti-smooth, not smooth at all.
Yeah.
It's like Bale's Bruce Wayne would have been all over Dr. Chase Meridian.
Yes. And I think the way Val Kilmer played it as like this dark, brooding, like I'm not criticizing his Batman because I love his Batman, Bruce Wayne. Like both of them, he was fine. Right? He did fine on that. But it's just them together just was written really. It's got to be them, right?
In the love department, Val Kilmer's Bruce Wayne was certainly lacking.
Yeah, the off-screen award goes to Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones because he cannot sanction his buffoonery, as we've said many times.
I mean, few can sanction that.
I think we got to give it to Val Kilmer and Nicole Kidman, unless you think anyone else.
Agree.
All right, let's go with that.
All right, let's kind of speed through the rest here because we're up against it here, my man. We got a lot to get through here. We got 4 left. We're gonna go with supporting actor, aka the best that guy performance. So it's not necessarily that guy from That Thing, but just we wanted to give a shout out to the sidekicks and side characters of these movies.
This one's easy for me, so I'll read them. Bill Paxton as Simon from True Lies, the used car salesman, who's so good.
I don't know if you know, but he's got a little dick. It's pathetic.
It's pathetic. It's actually pathetic, right? He said it, not me.
Tom like Arnold. A 10-year-old boy.
He's so quotable. That should have been the quote. Then you got Tom Arnold from True Lies, who's just amazing. Oh, yeah. Actually, this category is not easy. This is very hard. I thought this was easy.
Best wingman you could ever ask for, Tom Arnold.
He's so good. And then Chris Klein, Dusty Dinkleman, in our most recent episode, who's amazing from Just Friends.
All-time classic character.
And then a dark horse here, too, who actually is way better than the movie, acting way above his belt. Again, Dollar Store, Terry Silver, but Rand Kingsley, who plays Snyder from Three Ninjas. The movie is not good, but he kind of saves that movie.
Yeah, and he's not going to win. Let's not kid ourselves. He's not going to win this award.
He deserves the nomination.
We felt he deserved the recognition. And it's like, I feel like they do that in the Oscars a lot, too, where they nominate someone to acknowledge, but not to win. Yeah, he was definitely better than he had any right to be in that movie. Playing a knockoff Terry Silver, really, if we're serious.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. This is a hard one, man. I want to go with Dinkelman because he's so good.
But Bill
How
Paxton,
do you not give it to Paxton? And then Tom Arnold.
Though. Yeah.
It's
It's Bill Paxton.
It's got to be Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
Dusty Dinkelman is clearly like a close second, and Tom Arnold is two. Like you got 1A, 1B, and 2, but it's got to be Paxton.
Here's why it's Bill Paxton, because it's that guy performance.
Yep.
And Dinkelman and Tom Arnold and Rand Kingsley are all essential to the story of their movies.
They are.
That Bill Paxton
perfect.
Simon character, you could delete that and the movie's still great. It just added that much more comedy to a movie that already had everything.
Yeah.
So that's why.
You're right.
Yeah. That's why he gets that. That's why he gets the That Guy award.
You're right. I'm good with it.
He was the MVP of a movie that didn't need another MVP.
He was so good in that role.
Yeah.
Dinkelman was too, but you're right. I think you nailed it. So I'm good with that. If anyone wants to argue, definitely write in. Let us know.
And moving on to the Chet Stedman, the squeaky clean / washed up award.
2 feet in the tub.
2 feet. Do you want to describe to the listeners that inside joke there, Drew?
So I don't know if it started with us. We're gonna take it to that, but I don't know why we did this, but we always used to joke about how, like, you know, someone's so washed up, they're clean. So we just started making jokes about, like, yeah, they're clean. They got break out the tie, get the soap. He's got 1 foot in the tub. We talk about it like he's about to take a shower, like he's gonna be cleaned up. He's so washed up. And it started with Mel Clark, I think.
Yeah, washed up equals clean.
Yeah.
So the cleaner you are, the more over the hill and washed up you are. This could be in any life. It doesn't have to be sports. It could be in any walk of life. If you're washed up, that means you are squeaky clean, you're washed up, you're ready for bed, you get up in the morning, you wash yourself, you're good. If you're almost washed up, you got 1 foot in the tub.
Yeah.
If you're completely washed up, you got the bubbles going in the bubble bath. It's like it's a whole thing.
This is all also permeated our life where, you know, you'll like text me about our fantasy team and our fantasy players. And you're like, dude, the water's running right now. You know, Matt Ryan. Like we have Matt Ryan on our dynasty team, and we're sitting here saying Matt Ryan. He's 2 feet in the tub right now. So we got
the bubbles are flowing.
Yeah.
In the bath for Matt Ryan.
This is a good one. So the nominees here. This is a strong slate here, man. It's gonna be tough. So you got Alfred, so washed up he's got McGregor's from Batman and Robin. You got Mel Clark, so washed up he died.
McGregor's. What's McGregor's? Is that the best or the worst fake illness that a movie's ever made?
I'm just glad we're able to talk about McGregor's again. You know.
It's like Groats from Curb Your Enthusiasm. Yeah. He's got Groats.
I'm just glad we're able to talk about McGregor's here again. Yeah. Mel Clark, so washed up he's dead, which is pretty washed up.
Yeah, very washed up.
George Knox, so super washed up, played by Danny Glover. Angels in the Outfield also, so 2 again from this movie.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of anyone else. Can you think of anyone else that belonged in here?
What about Alvin Mack for the program, the linebacker, who lost his career to the knee injury?
Oh, I guess that's washed up.
That's like a thing where it's like he was bone dry, right? And then in an instant, someone put a fire hose to him.
And they dumped like a bucket of soap on him.
And he's like so saturated. He's never been cleaner in that one instant.
Never been cleaner in his life. I mean, yeah, he was flying high and he's so washed.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. How do you... This is a hard one because if you're dead, you can't be... Like, he's an angel.
I feel like Mel Clark is the impetus for this whole joke that even started. So I'm going to give it to Mel Clark, even though the old ass Alfred from the Schumacher Batman. Tell you what,
he's
man,
so washed up,
pretty washed. He's got the rubber duckies out, Drew.
He's got McGregor's.
He's got the loofah.
Oh, I'm not making light of an illness here, but he's got McGregor's.
He's got McGregor's. We're allowed to make fun of a fake illness.
So, because honestly, like, I don't want to change the name of the Chet Stedman Award, but it could be like a co-sponsored award between Chet Stedman and Mel Clark. Like, this is a memorial Mel Clark reward or something here, right? Like, McGregor's is hard to beat, but let's go Mel Clark.
Mel Clark died. That's how washed up he was.
He's
like, for real.
It's hard to be more washed than that. So, all right,
we're going down to the last 2. Best movie meltdown, on-screen meltdown.
There's some good ones.
Pretty much had a bitch fest on screen.
Yeah, and this one we took from the MTV Movie Awards. I think they called it like Hissy Fit, but I think Movie Meltdown's better. So there's Brendan Fraser from Airheads when he's going on his meltdown at the radio station about radio playing butt rock and like not his rock and all this other crap, right?
Why won't you play my music? You play other music.
That's
he goes on a
one.
whole rant about the state of rock music today, and like we've all heard that argument before. Come on, man.
Great performance.
Come on, Chaz.
Then you got Mark Wahlberg getting fired from his own tribute band. He's like, this is my mic stand, and that's
these are
again,
my cables.
Classic movie from our 2021 slate here. Then you got Barry Cox, right, played by Ryan Phillippe from I Know What You Did Last Summer, where I think we even used it as the intro clip for our episode, where it was, he's talking to Julie, played by Jennifer Love Hewitt. How do you even know this is related? You did a lot of things last summer. And she says, yeah, well, only one murder came to mind. He's like, you shut the hell up.
You shut the hell up.
And he busts out of nowhere, which is, I guess it's not a meltdown. It's more just a snap.
It's a meltdown. He melted down.
And then the ultimate meltdown, maybe a literal meltdown, Volcano from Dante's Peak. We can't do movie meltdowns and not include a volcano on this list.
I mean, I don't know. Can you beat? I don't know. Is that the winner? Or I don't
it's like
know.
the Superstorm. I feel like it's the
code.
Superstorm.
It's
a cheat code. It's clearly the winner, but I don't know that I would vote for it. Who are you picking?
Oh man, probably going with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah,
because he quit the band. He quit the band pretty spectacularly, and he was pretty much being a bitch about it when he probably should have been worried about his crappy originals.
We gotta go. We gotta go, Mark Wahlberg. We have to.
He learned. He learned later on. It's a good movie. Trust me, he learned.
If you haven't seen this movie, by the way, you need to go watch this movie. It's really good. It's not that good, but it's
probably the best movie of all time. Not just music movies of all time. It's the best movie ever.
Look,
so
it's critically acclaimed now that it has the Letterboxd. Is it good?
Yes.
But did you like it? Best movie award from the Last Word podcast.
It's definitely like you got to put it on the DVD on the back cover. Too low.
Too low. Way too low. Quote Kevin Bowey, the Blaster podcast.
All right,
imagine that quote on there.
Let's wrap this thing up. I have no idea how long we've been going. It's like 4 a.m. I'm delirious. I don't know about you. No one else is listening. So let's wrap it up with number 12, Steven Seagal. Best Action Sequence, the Steven Seagal Award. And of course, do we have a Steven Seagal scene?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how he's not going to win his own award here, but it's going to be tough because he's going up against some really, really tough contenders for our 2021 slate. You got the Steven Seagal, Gino Foligno bar fight from Out for Justice, the one where we talked about whose hot dog is this?
Whose hot dog is this?
You got the Commando raid from Commando by John Matrix when he's just taking down. It's like the highest body count ever besides Rambo, the new Rambo movie. You got Schwarzenegger again, double nominee here from True Lies with the horse chase, like one of the most iconic scenes from that movie. And then you got Pierce Brosnan and driving the Ford Bronco through lava. I know it's not like an action scene per se, but how are we going to not put that on this list?
No, it works. It works.
And then you got the final boss, the Twister final boss, the F5 tornado from Twister, and then outrunning it, going into the barn. It's a great scene, right?
Great
from
scene.
all the movies. This is a tough one, man.
Oh man, what are you feeling? Give me your top two.
I have two.
Give me your top two.
So I think in no particular order, the Commando raid, just because it's so iconic and it is so good, and he's just taking the guys down. He has a rocket launcher on his arm. It was in the blood bank cover art, right? How are you not going to put that?
Of course.
But then, how are you not going to take a guy that puts like a cue ball in like a handkerchief and starts bashing people over the head, throws a guy in a phone booth?
So the last three, the horse chase with True Lies, cheat code.
Right.
You had James Cameron. You had James Cameron directing that thing.
Yeah.
It's cheat code. Not fair. Dante's Peak, driving lava through the car. It's a volcano. Twister, final boss. It's an act of God. So we got to give it to our true action heroes.
Yeah. It's hard, right?
It's like I want to give it to Commando, but the comedy that went along with the ass kickery in that Out for Justice bar scene.
But is it fair? Because
the body count, the body count's higher, but the bar fight is funnier.
Yes, it is. And I feel like the comedy aspect of it, like he has the pool cue. Like, come on. You're right. The badassery of the Commando raid is one thing, but
and like best sound design of all time should have won an Oscar of that cue,
like knocking teeth out.
That like you can't beat that.
I mean, there's other scenes in Commando that probably should have been honorable mention, like, you know, the car chase, him flipping the car, the shootout in the motel. Like, there's so many good scenes.
Probably not the mall scene, because that was a very dumb scene.
Hiding behind the pillar.
Hiding behind the pillar.
I think we got to go Seagal, right? He's got to win his own award here.
Yeah,
I know it's blasphemy, because when you think about who's a better actor and who makes literal better movies, yes, Arnold Schwarzenegger is a better human being than Steven Seagal. And I mean, maybe you could argue that, right? And then at the same time, the movie Commando is a much better movie than Out for Justice, but of course. It's the Steven Seagal bar.
That's not what this is. Like the pure entertainment factor of the comedy of his horrible Brooklyn accent, offensive Italian Brooklyn accent, Drew. Just
give him the points on that.
The man is from New Orleans. All right.
Y'all think y'all could beat me in the kitchen? Remember that? That was your quote.
He thinks he's from New York. He's not.
All right. Let's give it to him, and let's recap the awards, because we got some hot take awards here, but I think that these are good. I'll read. Let's tee off here. I'll do the first one. You do the second one. So the first one, the Letterboxd, is it good? But did you like it? Best movie award, too low. We probably have to rename that thing. Rockstar. We gave that the Rockstar winner.
The Leave It in the Past award, too high. Bad Nostalgia goes to 3 Ninjas.
And then the Nicolas Cage Acting Clinic Award, soon to be renamed to the Raul Julia Acting Clinic Award, goes to Raul Julia himself for M. Bison from Street Fighter.
The Wayne Campbell, Can't We Get Somebody Better Than This? Mail It In Award goes to George Clooney for Batman and Robin.
The Terry Silver Villain of the Year Award, controversial here, goes to Sharon Stone, who plays Catherine Trammell, slightly narrowing out Raul Julia, but we got to give it to her.
It was the right choice.
Sharon Stone.
Yeah. The Peter McAllister Worst Father of the Year Award goes to Roger's dad from Angels in the Outfield, blowing motorcycle dust in his son's face as he leaves town as quickly as possible.
Oh, man. Cue the motorcycle sound here. Best Line of the Year Award, Raul Julia, who plays M. Bison, Street Fighter, but for me, it was a Tuesday. Can't argue with that one.
It's the way he says Tuesday.
50
Shades of Grey Worst On-Screen Chemistry Award goes to Val Kilmer and Nicole Kidman in Batman Forever.
Can't argue that. The Best Supporting Actor, the Best That Guy performance, Bill Paxton, I Got a Little Dick, Simon. It's Pathetic, True Lies, winner.
The Chet Stedman Squeaky Clean / Washed Up Award goes to Mel Clark, Angels in the Outfield, so squeaky clean, he's dead.
That's gonna be the co squeaky award there. Movie Meltdown, on-screen meltdown. How did the Volcano not win this? Mark Wahlberg of Rockstar, the My Mic Stand quote.
And finally, the Steven Seagal Best Action Sequence Award goes to Steven Seagal in his bar fight at Out for Justice. I just want to know if anybody's seen Richie. I need to know.
Gino, don't call him Gino. Whose hot dog is this? Dude, that was fun. I had a blast. Yeah. I am so curious if people agree with these winners. We'll put them on the website. Before we go, I want to ask you a couple quick questions here. We did 2021. This was a great year, man. I got to say, first, let me thank you for doing this show with me. Like I said in the beginning, I can't think of anyone else that we could do this with. So thank you for being you, man. You're the best co-host that we got here. And it's fun doing this.
I promise not to Mark Wahlberg you and just take all the talent and walk out the door. I promise I won't do that.
Hey, man, this is my mic stand.
I have your microphone right in front of me right now. You can take it. You can take it.
What if I ask you about 2022? So we talked a little bit about 2021. We recapped the year. What are you most looking forward to with this podcast for 2022? It could be a movie. It could be something you want to do.
Well, first of all, I think we alluded to it. Maybe have a guest or two on. Maybe collaborate a little more with some people. That'd be fun. And I want to get into more horror movies. I feel like there's some untapped movies there. And I do have a request where I think you've kind of are afraid to do this movie for fear of sheer boredom. I've never seen Waterworld, Drew, and I want to watch Waterworld, and I want to do Waterworld.
We are literally recording you saying I want to watch Waterworld, and I'm going to play that back for you after you watch Waterworld.
I've heard so many bad things about Waterworld. It's boring. It's the worst movie ever.
I don't hate it.
I want to see for myself.
But I'm afraid that you will not like it. I don't want to put words in your mouth. I'm not gonna color it for you, but we'll do Waterworld. We will do it.
The movie sucks. We'll make a podcast out of it. No big deal.
We'll do it. We will do Waterworld in 2022. Right, I definitely want to do another Seagal movie for sure. And another thing that I want to do, definitely agree with you. Like, one thing I didn't get a chance to say for 2021, we talked about meeting other podcasters and all that stuff. We've met some awesome people through this show, and some of the collaborations that we've been able to do. I know Chris came on. Thank you, Chris, for coming on, talking about Cobra Kai when we did the Cobra Kai bonus episode. Chris from Pro Wrestling Repackaged, and some other podcasts. Thank you so much, Chris. And Ken Cole from YouTube. We've had the chance to be on Ken's YouTube channel, and we've had a chance to do a live stream with Ken the other day for Cobra Kai Season 4. That was awesome. I definitely want to do some live stream type of stuff for our show in 2022. I think we could do something fun with that. If people are into it, we could talk about movies. We could talk about these type of awards things. I definitely want to do some more of that if people are interested in that. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. Hey, more sexy thrillers, Drew. More sexy thrillers.
So I want to ask everybody. So, as we get out of here, we'll have another episode on Thursday, January 20th. That's in 2 weeks from now. If you haven't had a chance and you enjoy our show, please leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and also Spotify now. But more importantly, what do you guys want from this show in 2022? Are you enjoying the 2-week release cycle? Are there other movies that you guys want us to do? Are there other type of content? Is there other type of content that you want us to put out? Send us an email, thelastrowpodcast@gmail.com. You can leave a comment on this episode's page, thelastrowpodcast.com, right in the episode notes. You can also tweet at us at The Last Row Pod, and you can leave a comment on our Facebook page on the Facebook episode, facebook.com/The Last Row Pod. Leave a comment on the Instagram page as well. So any way that you guys want to send us some feedback, definitely appreciate what you all are looking for in 2022. And we just want to say Happy New Year to everybody, and thank you so much for being with us on this journey again. We're back from the dead here, and we owe it all to you guys who listen to us every 2 weeks and put up with us. So just thank you all so much, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yeah, what he said, all that, what he said, that's what I say too.
So we really missed an opportunity here for best love scene.
Ooh.
What would it just go to? Go to Basic Instinct?
There's only one love scene. Really, I think we did all years. The F is century, really.
Yeah, really.
So,
but there was multiple love scenes in that movie.
Yeah, we could have compared the multiple love scenes. The one scene there.